Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'm going to continue with my series on Sun Tzu's Art of War, and we are specifically looking into stratagem number 25. Now, Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War long time ago, and back in those days, he wrote it for the emperor to help the emperor find a suitable strategy to overcome or win over an enemy in the battlefield. Now, in today's society, and especially what we're doing here, we're not using this in an actual warfare situation or in a battlefield, but the economy can also be some sort of battleground, an economical battleground. And especially if you're a business owner, you always need to find strategies to beat out your competition. Sometimes those strategies are sometimes a little bit, in the gray area, not necessarily illegal, but sort of in the gray area. But other strategies are very much above board. Others are very deceptive. So all of these different strategies, Sun Tzu actually accounted for in his work, The Art of War. And whichever strategy you choose is up to you. There's no judgment. As they say in Love and War, everything is a go, right? Okay, so today we are going to look at stratagem number 25 out of the 36 stratagems. And what is important when we're looking at this from a Bazi perspective is that we first analyze our own Bazi chart, because each person resonates more or less with certain strategies that Sun Tzu developed, and which one we have more affinity with is determined by what our Bazi astrology chart is composed of. And so therefore, the first thing we need to do is to actually plot our Bazi chart. So go to this link. I'm also posting it in the notes to this video, so have a look there. Go to the link and plot your Bazi chart. Now, it's always better if you know your time of birth, because that makes it much more accurate. But in this particular case, if you don't know your exact time of birth, we can go ahead and do the analysis as well. So don't worry too much about it. Once you have plotted this chart, what's important for us to look at is this part here. This is what we call the earthly branches. And as you can see here, this person is born in the tiger year, the rooster month, the pig day, and in the horse hour. Now, you may also have 4 different animals there, or you may have some that duplicate. That's absolutely fine. In rare cases, we even see a chart where you have 4 identical animals in the year, month, day, and hour, and that's also fine. So don't worry about it if your chart doesn't look exactly like this one. All you need to take note of is what animal signs do you have there, and this then determines which stratagem you have more affinity with, which one feels easier for you to implement. All right, so we are looking today at stratagem number 25, and this is called Replace the Beams with Rotten Timbers. Now, this particular stratagem is particularly suitable for those who have either the rat or the rabbit in the chart, or both. So if you have one rat and one rabbit, definitely this is something that you feel quite comfortable with, or that comes easy to you. But even if you only have one rat, no rabbit, or one rabbit, no rat, that's still fine. So this makes you feel more at home with this particular strategy, so to speak. And again, there's no judgment. These are strategies that we use to beat out our competition, yeah? And sometimes we just have to fight dirty, unfortunately. But this is what real life is, especially when it comes to business. Now, replace the beams with rotten timbers essentially means that you need to replace something valuable, yeah, the beams, with something that's not very valuable or has no value at all, like rotten timbers, yeah. A lot of building developers are like this. Yeah, they sell you a final development before they even put down a single stone. So they show you a nice brochure of what the final result is going to be like. This is what the development or what the condominium building looks like, but they haven't actually started building. It looks great in the brochure, but then once you see the final product, it turns out that everything is very cheap. Everything, they just use the cheapest material, they use the cheapest labor. So like, even though it looked great on the surface, once you actually look a little bit behind the surface, suddenly you realize, oh, this is just rotten timbers, essentially, right? So this is a deceiving strategy. And obviously, we don't feel like this is very moral. So I'm not going to put any judgment on this at all. This is just one out of 36 strategies that you can use to beat out your competition. Now, um, obviously, this is used a lot in business. It's also used, for example, when you just basically copy a product. Yeah, you use the brand name, and you just copy the product, put the brand name on the copied product, and the copied product, even though it may be somewhat okay quality, it's still not the real deal. Yeah, so you've replaced the beams with rotten timbers in that sense. So this is a strategy that doesn't work in a long term, but it may give you sort of like an entry point, and may help you beat out your competition in the short term. It's sort of like using a disruptive innovation concept by starting out with sort of like a lower quality product, maybe as the first product or the first sort of like building development, for example. You make a name for yourself first, and then after you've got all the money from this particular project, you can actually move uh, up in the market with higher quality products, right? Provided that you haven't destroyed your reputation with that first go where you've just used cheap materials. And this is something that you can use literally um, all across the marketplace whenever it comes to products. It's not really suitable if you are someone who sells a service, but if you are selling a product, that is definitely something that you can use. It's even, fake cigarettes, fake alcohol, yeah, things like that. This all goes under this particular strategy. Now, I'm not saying if you have the rat and the rabbit in your chart that this is something that you do all the time, or that you have to do. Sometimes it's just something that helps you put a foot in the door, and then you move up from there and get better, right? But you do have a better sort of understanding of this strategy. If you have these animal signs in your chart, you have more affinity with it, and you are actually more successful at implementing this than anybody else. All right, I hope this helped. I would really appreciate it if you share this video with anybody who may be interested in it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I would be really appreciative of it. And I will see you guys soon.